You don't have to have certifications to do business with the government. But guess what? Certifications gives you leverage. It helps you skip the line. Anybody ever been to an amusement park and you've heard of the fast track or the fast pass, right? What does the fast pass allow you to do? Skip the line, right? So certifications allows you to skip the line where there are so many larger businesses who have greater capacity that are competing and going after these government contracts. You get to skip the line and participate in a pool of money that is for women-owned money, for minority-owned, for small businesses, for veteran-owned businesses, for LGBT-owned businesses. Hello? Pool of money that is for disadvantaged small businesses. How do you know if you're a disadvantage? Well, if you have under 500 employees, you are at a disadvantage. So I have a free book, free copy for you, for all of you that are here. I have a book. It's called Don't Duck the Government Because They've Got Your Money. And it's all about how you can make millions pitching and winning government contracts, right? Because most of the time you think of government, you're thinking the ops. You're thinking taxes. You're thinking Uncle Sam. You're thinking the feds, right? But don't duck them because guess what? The government's got your money, and I'm right now about to show you how to get it. Is that all right? Okay. Can I use that? Okay. So 3 things that I'm going to share with you. Number 1, I'm going to show you who you need to be. Somebody say, who I need to be?
Who I need to be.
To attract the government. I'm going to show you what you need to do. Somebody say, what do I need to do? To keep the government's attention, right? And I'm going to show you how you can attain some of the hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars that's on the table for you in your business. All right, so first step, number 1. So we've been all week, all the speakers have been talking about being a premium entrepreneur and attracting a premium client. So number 1, in order for you to attract the premium buyer, you have to become a premium entrepreneur, right? Yourself, which means that business foundation is key, right? So every story starts with the beginning. Somebody say every story starts with the beginning, right? In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Once upon a time, there was. A long, long time ago, here established this, and so on and so forth. So the business foundation, regardless of how many years you've been in business, you can be in business for 20, 30, does not matter. When you want to do business with the government, you have to take it back to the foundation. Somebody say, take it back to the foundation. All right? So you have to become a credible business. And what does that mean? That means you have to have your paperwork in order. That means you have to have your taxes in order, right? Simple things. That means if you're an LLC, you have to understand that an LLC comes with operation agreements, and it comes with bylaws, and then there's an EIN, and there's all these other things. And you have to have a business bank account. Now, these are the things, had I known when I first started my business, I wouldn't have been broke for 5 years trying to figure it out, right? Because the same thing that it takes for you to attract the government and to become a premium entrepreneur for the government is the same thing that funders look for when they're looking to fund you. And guess what? The banks look for in order for you to get the yes, when you look for funding, the same thing. So business foundation is number 1. I'm just going to put BF. So business foundation is number 1. That's number 1. Number 1. Number 2. So how many women own businesses are in the house? Women? All the women representing? All right. How many minority entrepreneurs in the house? Any veteran business owners in the house? How many disabled business owners in the house? All right. Any small business owners in the house in general? Any local businesses in the house? All right. So now it's not enough just to raise your hand and say that I am those things. There's a such thing called small business certifications. Now, here's the thing that is so very key. You don't have to have certifications to do business with the government. But guess what? Certifications gives you leverage, right? It helps you skip the line. Anybody ever been to an amusement park and you've heard of the fast track or the fast pass, right? What does the fast pass allow you to do? Skip the line, right? So certifications allows you to skip the line where there are so many larger businesses who have greater capacity that are competing and going after these government contracts. You get to skip the line and participate in a pool of money. Somebody say pool of money. That is for women-owned money. Pool of money. That is for minority-owned. Pool of money. That is for small businesses. Pool of money. That is for veteran-owned businesses. Pool of money. That is for LGBT-owned businesses. Hello. Pool of money. That is for disadvantaged small businesses. How do you know if you're a disadvantage? Well, if you have under 500 employees, you are at a disadvantage. Anybody at a disadvantage today? All right. Looks like everybody. All right. So certifications is key, right? And there are various levels of government, local, state, and federal. There's 3 levels of government. How many levels of government are there? 3. How many? 3 levels of government, local, state, and federal, right? So the local city and county has your money. Are you going to go get it? Your state has your money. Are you going to go get it? How are you going to go get it? Who's really going to get it? Okay, now the federal government has your money. Who's going to go get it? All right, are you really going to go get it? Right? Specifically because the government has a big fat check with your name on it. And now watch this. When I was going through the divorce and I was trying to figure out how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to buy my son these shoes, right? 2 weeks after the divorce was final, and I'm not an advocate of divorce, but it happened for a purpose, right? 2 weeks, God released abundance into my life. I had started the process while I'm grieving and going through this relationship split and all those different things. I had started the process of getting certified. I started the process of building my business foundation. Literally 2 weeks later, I landed a contract, my first contract. It was for $70,000 for 56 hours of work, taking pictures. I heard somebody say, what? 56 hours taking pictures, right? And so now watch this. I don't know what it is that you guys do. We have consultants who teach people how to have better health. In here, I believe there are some consultants who teach people how to get their business credit right. There's some janitorial cleaning companies. There's maybe some construction, some contractors, some trades, some electrical, right? Regardless of what it is that you do, marketing, whatever, the government has a big fat check with your name on it. And literally, there are pools of money as you're driving down the street. Now watch this. You probably never thought of this before. So every single time you're driving down the street, if you see a piece of landscape that's been beautified, guess what? That landscape was a government contract to a small business who had to beautify that landscape. When you're driving down the street and you see stop signs, somebody say stop sign. That stop sign was a government contract given to a small business entrepreneur. Now, when you're driving down the street and you see a bus station, somebody say bus station, and you see the marketing of photos and advertisement, that bus station was a government contract that was obligated, somebody say obligated, to give to a small business entrepreneur. Now, I don't know about you, but that first contract that I landed, I said, I think I discovered something. And I coined it the $1 trillion secret to government contracts, because literally I discovered trillions of dollars that nobody's participating in. I mean, a whole bunch of people are not participating in, right? And what I did was I went back and I repeated the steps and I landed another one on top of that simultaneously. And then I landed a third one on top of that simultaneously. And then I landed a fourth one and a fifth one and a sixth one. And before I knew it, I had been managing 12 to 15 government contracts of similar size and larger for similar days of work. And I had a multi-million-dollar business. Now, coming from the hood, I'm coming from the hood. You know what I'm saying? So coming from the hood, that's life-changing. Yes. That changed my life. And I realized that it does not take 2 to 5 years to grow a business. Now, with the right information, somebody with the right information, somebody say without the right information. With the right information, you could be highly profitable in your first 30, 60, 90 days of doing business with the government. I have clients right now who's never made money in their business. I have clients who've been struggling at the $80,000 mark who are right now landing within 5, 6 to 8 weeks. $500,000, $250,000, multiple $1 million government contracts. Why? Because the government has your money with your name on it. What's your name? Yeah, your name. Kristen. The government has your money. What's your name? Rob Shepard. The government has your money. What's your name? Kamala. The government has your money. Anybody else want to shout out your name? All y'all. The government has your money. What are you going to go do about it? Go get it, right? Okay. Okay, so now, here's the thing. You can't go get it if they don't know you exist. You can have certifications all day. You have a business license, EIN, you can have all that stuff all day. If they don't know that you exist,